So we're on page 30. We're doing example number 5. I do want you to write it down on your paper so that you can imitate what it is that we're doing. Okay? We are going to change 0.5 repeating into a fraction. If it's a rational number, we have to have an integer on the top and on the bottom. But you and I both know that 0.5 repeating is 0.555 and then it continues forever, right? What we're going to do is we're just going to say that that stands for some letter n. Some letter n. But for it to be a rational number, we have to have a whole number. So what's going to happen is we are going to move the decimal place one place. Well, if I move the decimal place over one spot so that I get a whole number, what am I multiplying by really? 10. I'm multiplying by 10. But I still have these repeating things over here. Well, if I multiply this side by 10, what do I have to do over here? Multiply by 10, so I have 10n. Why are we multiplying by 10? Someone tell me that. Why did we do that, Jason?
To make it a whole number.
Good. We're trying to get a whole number to the left of the decimal. That's why. Okay? But we still have all this randomness here at the end. How do I get rid of this part? How do I get rid of stuff? If it's there, I could do what?
Take it away.
Take it away. That's right. If I take away 0.555, I would end up with just that whole number, right? Here's the part that's a little bit different. We don't want to take that number away from here. That doesn't make any sense. But this is equivalent to what? It's equivalent to n. So I'm going to take away what's equal to that. Slow me down. We're trying to get rid of the decimal, so we subtracted it. Why didn't we subtract the same thing? We always usually do. Tell me why we didn't. Why did we subtract n? Because, Tanner? N is equivalent to that. Absolutely. So now look what happens. If I take that off, I'm left with 5. Oh, yay, it's a whole number. If I have, well, if I have 10 algebra blocks and I take one away, how many algebra blocks are left over? 9. So what's this going to be? If I have 10 n's and I take one away, it's going to be, oh, and I still have a whole number. Oh, yay. I have 9 n's left over. Now, hold on. How do I get n by itself? If I divide this side by 9, what over here? Divide by 9. What does n equal? N equals what? What fraction? 5. Well, isn't that what we said it needed to equal? Now we have proved it algebraically. Stop and ask me some questions. So now, we just proved what I kind of said last year. We noticed a pattern. That's a math conjecture. Now we've proven it algebraically. You just start with that decimal is this. Tell me why we multiplied by 10. Someone tell me why we did this step. Olivia with an A.
To make the decimal whole number.
Good. We have to get a whole number on this side of the decimal. If I multiply this side by 10, I have to do what? Multiply that side by 10. Do the same thing. What's this step all about? What do I do here? Good. We want to subtract to get rid of the gibberish, says Blake, and I like it. But why didn't we subtract the same thing over here? No. Because why, Miss Struble? Because it is good. This n is equivalent to that. So really we did subtract the same thing. It is the same thing because they're equivalent. Only this is in the form that makes it easy to solve. So now our gibberish, to use Blake's word, is gone, and we have a whole number. If I have 10 n's and I take away another n, I have how many n's? 9, because if I have my algebra blocks here and I had 10, I didn't count. If I take one away, you know there's 9. How do I get n by itself? Divide by 9. If I divide this side by 9, then it's the same, and this is my answer. And we have now proven why a repeating 5 is equivalent to 5 nines. That's the big 8th grade step. I can't do it by myself yet, but I see why we did each step, or ask me a question. Jason, what's your question?
Does it work for all of them? Will it work for all of them? All the decimals?
So yes, if we have a repeating decimal, we can use this template, but there are a couple of different changes. That's why we're going to do a couple together. Okay, what's your question, Tanner? Now, if it says just straight 5/10, what's the fraction? 5/10, and it's 1/2. The reason we have to do this is because of this repeating part. So if you have a terminating decimal, you just say the decimal place. If it's repeating, then to prove it, we would have to do this. And we'll do some of them. So this is the tougher 8th grade part right here. We will also be able to do repeating 27, repeating 123. Okay, and we'll do those together today. And then next week you'll have to be able to do some on your own. Olivia with an A.
What if there's a 0 in the test?
We're going to do another one. If there's a 0 in the tens place, and like 0, 5,
0, 5.
we're going to do an example just like that. What do you think? To get a whole number, what are we going to multiply by? 100 and not 10. Okay? So,